as y'all can see, we in a different location today because I'm not in New York. So we talking hip hop from the bar. Peace, y'all. Jonny Fastlane here. So, Young Bans and Lil Yachty beef on Twitter, and Drake buys a huge Young Money chain. Plus, XXL drops DaBaby's freshman freestyle. Let's talk hip hop. Alright, so Young Bans, right, says that he's dropping an album coming up soon, right? And I don't even know when like Young Bans' album is coming out or nothing like that. He didn't say like the date of the album, but what he says is it's coming soon, right? And it's called Misunderstood, right? And then on the cover of Young Bans' album, he has, as y'all saw, like a lot of people who people would, I guess, consider like the outcasts of hip hop, right? So you see like they had that albino dude sitting there. They had like some girl in the back where it looked like twins or maybe like lesbians or something like that. They had this one dude that had like mad tattoos all over. Then it was a dude that was sitting behind Young Bans that just looked like a regular dude, like one of his homeboys or something like that. But it's basically like a bunch of different kind of people, a bunch of different kind of faces or whatever like that, right? And it's called Misunderstood. So I'm guessing that Young Bans is probably trying to say, look, we are the misunderstood people of society, right? Or whatever like that, right? Which is cool. Young Bans is coming out with his first project. Well, not his first project, his first album, but y'all know, just like Russ said, Young Bans got 5 mixtapes prior to this album that also could be considered albums, but you know how they be doing. But anyway, so Lil Yachty sees the cover of Young Bans' new album and he decides to tweet Young Bans. So Lil Yachty says Misunderstood is literally an imprint of Teenage Emotions, right? Basically saying that Young Bans is like his son or something like that, right? And y'all know, right? So Teenage Emotions came out like what, 2016, right? And the same thing. So Lil Yachty had like a gay couple on there on the front of the album. He was sitting in a movie theater. He had albino guy sitting there. He had a woman with like a skin like discoloration kind of thing going on. So basically it's, you know, and keep in mind, Yachty did this 3 years ago, right? It's basically saying that we are the misunderstood, right? And that he's one of them. They were sitting in the movie theater versus Young Ban who's saying that he is the misunderstood and they're sitting in a classroom, right? The only difference is that Lil Yachty's album was called Teenage Emotions, right? So basically Lil Yachty is saying that Young Bans kind of stole his whole, I guess, swag of like the album cover and just, I guess, the whole vibe of his album, right? So Young Bans responds to Lil Yachty. You a ho-ho. Your music will never be as good as mine. What's Teenage Emotions, sweet ass nigga, right? And then Lil Yachty just goes, LOL. Okay, right? And then for some reason, like DJ Academics responds to what Young Bans said, because y'all know DJ Academics and Young Bans got beef too, right? So I don't think that Academics was kind of defending Yachty at all. I just think that Academics is cool with Yachty and saw an opportunity to just kind of throw a jab at Young Bans. So Academics jumps in there and he's like, what you mean, dumb nigga? I mean, the meaning behind Teenage Emotions is literally growing up and being misunderstood. You a slow ass nigga for real. Be original. That's what Academics says to Young Bans, right? I'm like, yo, right? But I don't think that Young Bans in his head was like, yo, I see what Yachty's doing. Let me do exactly what Yachty's doing, right? I think that this is a coincidence. And I think that Yachty is wilding out, which is crazy because Yachty's not even the type of person to beef with anybody, right? But maybe him and Academics got something going on and they like, yo, let's gang up on this dude Young Bans. Or the other part of it could be that Young Bans is dropping on Friday and they need some kind of buzz or something around Young Bans and for people like me to talk about it. So why don't they create a fake beef and have Lil Yachty beef with Young Bans, right? Who knows? But anyway, this is funny as hell. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments down below. Alright, so Drake has this huge Young Money chain, right? And this is crazy, right? Because this thing, like, you know Drake, I mean, like, come on, like, he ain't got nothing to do with his money, so he's like, yo, let me buy this iced out Young Money chain, right? The first thing I can't hold you, right? The first thing I thought when I seen this, right, was that was like the Met symbol or the Yankee symbol or whatever like that. And it kind of does look like a New York, like, sports team, like a baseball kind of symbol, but it's the YM, it's the Young Money. And it's always been that symbol, but it just kind of looks very similar to it. I mean, it's obviously like a play off of that, but it's dope and it's individual and it's original because, I mean, that's what hip hop is. Hip hop, what they do is they sample old things and they repurpose it to be new. So ain't nobody mad at Lil Wayne or Young Money for using like that, kind of like the Yankee symbol or whatever. But anyway, right? So this is like a growing trend in hip hop right now. So Snoop Dogg recently has been wearing like his old Death Row chain, right? And the Game got a Death Row chain too, and I don't know how because the Game definitely was not around like during the Death Row times, right? And then also like Jay-Z, I remember like last year around this time, Jay-Z gave Meek Mill a Rockefeller chain, right? So of course Rockefeller doesn't exist anymore, right? It's Roc Nation and it's not even a record label, it's more like a management team, right? But Meek Mill was still hyped to get a classic Rockefeller chain because that means something in hip hop, right? And Snoop is walking around with his Death Row chain on like, you know, Suge Knight is about to pull up to the studio or something, right? So, and then also you got Drake with the whole Young Money joint, right? The only thing is, unlike, you know, Death Row and Rockefeller, Young Money is still around, right? So y'all know, right? Lil Wayne was battling with Birdman for like years before he put out the Carter 5. You know, Wayne sued Birdman for like $51 million. They settled out of court for like a little bit more than 10 million, but it was an undisclosed amount. So it could have been 11 million or it could have been 51 million. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so after they settled out of court, what they also did was so Lil Wayne owned 51% of Young Money while Birdman owned the other 49%, right? So every time Wayne dropped the album on Young Money, or Drake dropped the album on Young Money, or Tyga, or Nicki Minaj, and I'm talking about even to the point where Scorpion came out on Young Money, you know, Birdman would have 8 off of that, right? But what they did was they transferred Birdman's 49% of Young Money over to Lil Wayne, so now Lil Wayne owes 100% of it, right? So that's why I'm guessing like Lil Wayne probably didn't get the full 51 million, but he probably got close to like probably 10 or 15 million, but he has full 100% ownership of Young Money, which is dope, right? And this is cool. So now, you know, I guess Drake is kind of just showing love to like his boss. It doesn't seem like Lil Wayne or Drake, they're ever gonna, I mean, it doesn't seem like Nicki Minaj or Drake are ever gonna leave Young Money, and they seem to be happy and they seem to be cool, you know what I'm saying? Lil Wayne wasn't on Drake's last album, and I thought there was something going on, but obviously not, right? Because Drake still shows mad love to Lil Wayne on stage and in interviews and on social media and every time he can. And it's crazy because, you know, Drake said on his page, once he posted up that video of his chain, he's like in the caption, why don't y'all name like Lil Wayne's best song or your favorite song by Lil Wayne, right? Which is dope, right? Drake didn't say his favorite song by Lil Wayne, which would probably, for me, my favorite Lil Wayne song would probably be like Believe Me with Drake and Lil Wayne, where they both bodied that. But let me know what your favorite Lil Wayne song is. So XXL drops, you know, all right, you know how XXL does, right? They like to drag this out for real, right? So y'all know they dropped the freshman list, but that was it. They just let us know who was on the freshman list, right? This year they had 10 rappers, 3 females. They had 11 rappers actually, 3 females, which was dope, right? DaBaby was on there, Meg Thee Stallion, YT Osiris, you know, just mad people, like pretty much they were spot on this year, right? Which was dope, right? So now they're gonna start releasing every single day this week the freestyles, right? And it's Monday, so they released the first freestyle. They released it with one of the biggest artists, that's XXL Freshman, which is DaBaby, right? And DaBaby's freestyle was dope, right? They didn't have no beat on it, so he spit it a cappella, which was cool, right? I'm listening to DaBaby's freestyle. First of all, I really like DaBaby, right? He's new, he's dope, he's funny, he doesn't really take himself like too seriously, and he's lyrical. So I mess with DaBaby, right? And so I'm listening to his freestyle. I'm like, yo, this dude got bars. Okay. I'm bobbing my head, and then I start reciting, if you know what I know, I start rapping where he rapping, and I'm like, wait a second. If this is a freestyle that just came out right now, and I'm watching this for the first time, and XXL just put this up 3 minutes ago, then why do I know this verse, right? So I had to do a little digging, right? And they come to find out, right? I don't know when they shot this, right? But a month ago, DaBaby was up at Hot 97 at Funk Master Flex, and he spit the same verse, right? And I was like, yo, right? Like, come on now, DaBaby, like I said, I mess with DaBaby, I like DaBaby, but come on, man, you can't be recycling verses, right? But one of my favorite rappers of all time, though, is notorious for recycling verses, right? And that's DMX, right? I would hear a DMX verse on the radio, on Hot 97, freestyling. This is back in the day, not no more, right? And I would be like, oh, wow, this is fire. 3 months later, that's verse number 2 on one of DMX's singles. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, right? Like, come on. Respect hip-hop, love hip-hop, treat hip-hop with, some kind of class, and, come out with another verse or spit off the top of your head. And this is why I always like when rappers just could spit off the top of their head like Juice WRLD, because they don't have to recycle verses. Juice WRLD to get in the XXL thing and just start rapping, bop, 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 and then, write something down for a song or something, right? DaBaby done spit that at Hot 97 on Funk Flex. DaBaby done spit that at XXL on the freestyle, right? I bet you we're gonna hear this verse on a song in the next couple of months, yo. And it's gonna be like, oh yeah, DaBaby got a new song out. And I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, let me go listen to this DaBaby song. And then I'm gonna be rapping the words. And I'm gonna be like, yo, DaBaby, I feel like I got robbed, right? So at least I didn't have to pay for the XXL freestyle, because if I had to pay for it, I would have felt like I got robbed. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, DaBaby. But I don't know, man. Do y'all care if rappers like recycle old verses, or, don't spit a brand new freestyle, or use a written verse from a song in a quote unquote freestyle? Because it's definitely not a freestyle. But do you care? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know what you think about everything else. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell and follow me at Jonny Fastlane. That's Jonny Fastlane on Instagram. And y'all already know what to do. Peace.